Do you ever find that you have a hard time getting stuff done because you keep distracting yourself? And so as a result, you don't have any focused work time to actually get things done? If so, I've found that the Pomodoro method has been something that works really well for me to combat that. So in this video, I'm going to tell you about it and give you some tips on terms of how to implement it for your own workday. Hi, my name is Dr. Patricia Thompson. I'm a corporate psychologist and executive coach. You can find me at silverliningpsychology.com. And if you look below, you'll find out more about the services that I offer. There are also links to a variety of online courses that I have, and just let you learn more about me. And as always, make sure to like, subscribe, click the bell so that you'll be able to know when I create new videos. And leave a comment down below if there's anything in the video that resonates with you. So it's interesting because today I am filming from my workspace because I was actually just in the midst of using the Pomodoro method or technique. And I thought, why not create a video about it? A lot of my clients that I work with who sometimes have trouble focusing and getting stuff done without getting distracted have been using this method because I've taught it to them, and they found it to be really helpful. So I figured I would share it with you too. Okay, so let's talk about this Pomodoro method. And it was actually created by someone named Francesco Cirillo. I hope I'm saying that correctly. And for me, the real benefit of it is I find it really helps me to have focused time to work without distracting myself. There's research actually that suggests that we tend to interrupt ourselves a lot throughout the day. And, a lot of times people think that it's other people that are interrupting them, getting in the way of them getting things done. But often it's things like our notifications on our email, or even just looking at our phones, anticipating a notification, seeing if something has happened and if we're missing out. And one research study I've read actually suggests that we do that 17 to 27 times an hour. And so if you think about it, if you're doing a task and the next thing you know, you're checking your email, and the next thing you know, you go down a rabbit hole of social media, then maybe you come back, you have a thought, you look it up on Wikipedia, then you try to get back to your focused work that you're trying to do. And as a result, you can see that it's very disjointed and it's hard to get anything done that way. And so the Pomodoro method helps to work against that. Okay, so how exactly does the Pomodoro method work? Well, basically the way to think of it is that you can break your day into 30-minute segments. Each is called a Pomodoro. And the way that a Pomodoro works is that you set a timer for 25 minutes and you work on whatever task you're working on for that 25 minutes. And then when the timer goes off, you give yourself a 5-minute break. And then you start again. You set the timer, you have your 25-minute Pomodoro of focused work, your 5-minute break, and then you can do maybe 3 or 4 of those in a row. And then after you've done each of those Pomodoros, each of those 30-minute segments is called a Pomodoro, then you can give yourself, say, a 15 to 30-minute break. And that's it. That's the simplicity of it. But the reason why I have found it to be so beneficial is because it helps me to guard against getting distracted. If I know that I'm working for this 25-minute segment and it's a set time period, and then when my timer goes off, I can go check my email or I can do whatever I want to do, it allows me to focus. It kind of creates a greater sense of urgency because it's a limited time period. And then you do that again for the 25 minutes. And so I have found that for myself, it really, really helps to focus me and allows me to hone in on what it is that I'm working on. So that's the simplicity of it. I encourage you to try it out. I suggest using the timers actually as opposed to just looking at your watch, just because, again, it creates that urgency. And, looking at your watch, I think, is another aspect of distraction. And if you have an Apple Watch or something like that, again, it's more distraction. So set the timer, wait for the time to go off, and then you can take your break. Okay, so of course, you're not going to be able to use this method all the time. For example, if you're in the midst of a meeting, you're not going to be able to set a 25-minute Pomodoro timer and then, get up and take a break, at your leisure. But what I do think this is best for is if you're working on projects or if you're working on things that need focused time. Even if you're the kind of person who gets emails and texts from people, typically, if someone has to wait 15 minutes for a response, it's not going to be the end of the world. And so in some ways, you'll be able to train the people around you to be able to wait for a response as opposed to needing it immediately. Sometimes people will do things where, they'll tell people, if you really need to get in touch with me immediately, give me a phone call. But otherwise, I'll get to your texts or emails, when I need to. Something else that I would suggest in terms of using the Pomodoro would be to shut out notifications, put your phone on the other side of the room. So again, you won't be tempted to self-interrupt and to start working on things that you don't want to be working on. So that would be another tip. And you can use it for any kinds of things. So, you might have a 25 Pomodoro set during your day just to go through your emails and respond to those. You might have one for writing if you're working on a project or, planning your day or whatever. And, if you don't have the time to put 3 or 4 in a row, I find that even having 1 or 2 Pomodoros during my day is enough to help me to hone in and focus more than I would do if I was just kind of leaving it to chance and working based on my own methods. Okay, so that's a quick overview of the Pomodoro Method. I hope that you put it into practice and see how it works out for you. Let me know in the comments, or if you've had experience with it, put that in the comment down below too. Again, I'm Dr. Patricia Thompson, and I will see you in the next video.